people are concerned about. We have to go back to Copenhagen in December.
COP15. We need to extinguish the fossil fire, you know, the thing that is burning and heating up our planet. And we have coal, we have gas, and we have oil.
Let us take a look into reality. The climate problem, climate discussion, is not an international problem. It's a national problem.
Here you have 20 countries that has most of the fossil fuel in the world. It's combined coal, natural gas, and crude oil. And you see US, Russia, China, Australia, Saudi Arabia, India, Canada.
Well, Germany should not be on this figure any longer because the reserves of coal in Germany has just taken away 90% of what they have used. So we should not do this a couple of years ago. But if these countries was not producing fossil fuel, what should happen then? Should there be any carbon dioxide? Of course not. Well, today carbon dioxide is treated with some drugs. I mean, it's narcotic for us. We should not use it. We should do everything not to get it into the atmosphere. But how about the drug dealers?
US, Russia, China, Australia, Saudi Arabia, India.
They are the carbon dioxide drug dealers because they are selling it and they get profit for it and they all think
they're great, especially our neighbor in Norway, of course.
Yes, in Sweden, what they make is much money. This is okay. So the climate problem, that's not an international problem. It's a 20 countries problem. We have to rethink when it comes to these things.
So, but the future, okay, we are producing a lot of fossil fuel, and some people are saying that we should decrease the use with 50% in 2050. It's a solid green line, and some people say it must be completely out in 2050. And then we have the fraction that is renewable energy, the orange curve here. And we have made studies that shows now that speed system increases when it comes to new energy systems cannot increase more than 7% per year. So this is the 7% per year increase in 2050. Okay, it's possible to come up with big numbers, but we will get a slope, we will deep down in between. And this is something that must be reality. I mean, unfortunately, people that put numbers that increase more than 7% per year, they should rethink, because this is energy system thinking. That is what we're doing research on. You must think about the whole system and not one component. And that is very important for the future. Food. We should survive. We should have something on the table. So let's look at food. And we have another publication. I'm saying it all the time. This publication is stated because I would like to point the fact that we must put things into periodic tables. Otherwise, people cannot take it seriously. Okay. Should we have food or fuel? Can our country provide us with fuel in the future? Look into this. This is the raw data. At the left from your side, you have the fossil fuel transport sector, what they need, and that's 25,000 terawatt hours. You know, energy units can be different kinds, but this article was suitable to terawatt hours. Primary food production, you see, the energy that you can find in the crops, 129 different products that the agriculture industry gives the world. If you just calculate how much energy is in this, it's possible to do that. It's in the conversion factors and so on. You see, you get 90,900. The interesting thing is that the residues that is also produced, that you normally not using here, is 80,200. And the net production, when it comes to food, because you use part of this, feed the cows and so on, is 9,200, and then we have the food demand, 7,092 terawatt hours. We are producing enough food for the people in the world to survive, but what else? And the interesting thing is if you take the residues and make those residues into biogas, you get something like 25% of what you need for transportation in the world from just biogas from residues.
So of course that is something that every country should focus on to do. Okay. Let's see. Food for fuel. If you take, you see here, the consumption of biofuel for transportation is a very small fraction. But if you take and make ethanol from all the corn produced in the world, I mean, all the corns, we're not eating corn any longer, we produce ethanol instead. You see, we get 1,600 kilograms. And then we do the same thing for ethanol from sugar cane. You know, 50% of the energy from the sugar cane today is to produce sugar. And ethanol in Brazil is the byproduct. What they do with the rest after they produce the sugar. Okay, but we make ethanol from everything, 62 and so on. You see that there is no possibility whatsoever to support transportation with biofuel from agriculture crops. Forget it. And then we have the fact that we will be 9 billion people on the planet later on, and they need food also. So, it's recommended that on average we should have 2,500 kilocalories per person per day. And if we then take the number of people, 6.7 billion when it goes when this goes down, we get 7,100 terawatt-hours per year is what we eat. And if you convert that into oil, because we talked about oil, then the oil consumption for just eating is 12 million barrels of oil per day. That is what we are eating in energy. We need to eat that. 12 million barrels. Okay. But if you convert, but when you produce the food, you need fossil fuel. In the United States, for every calorie on the table, you need 7.4 calories of fossil fuel to produce it. And globally, the average is something like 5, factor 5. So that means 12 times 5 is 60. 60 million barrels per day oil equivalent is needed to get food on the table to the people on the planet. And that's 30% of the fossil fuels. So how could we go down to 0% emission of carbon dioxide for fossil fuel without telling which billion people will die on the way down? They forgot to do that in Copenhagen. Okay, here we have the numbers. Put in the food here, and we see we have an equation that is very hard. So what should we do now? Is it possible to do something at all? And then we have something that they also forgot to tell in Copenhagen, and that was the airline industry. Okay, the efficiency factor for the airline industry is normally it's learning curves and so on, that getting better and better. And down here you have the forecast of Airbus and Boeing are saying, this is what we plan for the future, so much will increase. But unfortunately they need gasoline, they need something for the airline to function. And if you take the continuation of the learning curve and what they think they need, you get the blue curve here. And the International Agency, that is overdue also, I mean, they say we cannot produce so much. And what we say with our limits, you see, is the purple area here. And what do you think with the green thing are? What do you think the green thing are? That is what is discussed in Copenhagen, that the reduction of oil should be the 2% per year reduction. They forget to tell them about the truth that they are closing down the airline industry at the same time. It's all detail. Have you thought about that?